Okay, I think I've decided to go this way to show the full girth of the people. I think that's funnier. This way bugged me a little bit because I don't like, I mean, I know it's funny that his pants come up to here, but I don't know. That, yeah, you know, after a while you have to look at shapes, and I don't like how this cuts up. And here it draws too much attention over here when all the action is clearly their face. So this way is what I've decided to do. And I may do some kind of weird wallpaper behind them. Although I like the green. What to do? Okay, so I'm going to trim this down. I think right about where I put this line. Looks good. Let's see if it's, I can't tell. Maybe a little bit more. Now I have my T-square here, but it's not going to do me any good because nothing on here is a straight line. So you can measure that this is almost 15 inches here, and this is almost 15 inches here. That looks pretty good, but I'm not sure if that line's cut straight. So, them's the breaks. So anyway, off with it. I had to check to see if it was filming. All right. And all this I might use some other time, I don't know. So that'll go right about there. So I'm going to cut some more off. Because I've painted on it already, it's full of all kinds of wrinkles. You might be able to see that. All kinds of stuff. But that's not going to matter. Because when I get it wet, it should stretch out. If it doesn't, then it's just some funky texture. All right. Okay, that's how I'm going to do it right there. Bring it down a little bit. All right, so here's my medium. Just pour it on. Nice big brush. It's a cheap synthetic Home Depot brush. Important thing is that I get it nice and wet, no dry spots. And face down. I had used the spray on the paper before I painted on it, and that's why it's yellow. It's a technique that I use often to make things look vintage and also to get all the colors to work together, which I'll explain in another time. Okay, so I've got that pretty wet. Put that over to the side. Now I've got all these pucker marks that I gotta get rid of. So I'm gonna put a little more. Now you may be asking yourself, if you don't already know the answer to this, why did I put it face down into wet medium? Well, that's my technique to get medium on both sides of a piece of paper. I think this is a little dry, so I'm going to put some more on. The wetter the better in my opinion, but I mean, you don't want to get so saturated that then you don't have bubbles, but then you have lumps of medium. Okay, so pretty satisfied that that's wet enough. And now I want to bring there, when it gets wet, it starts to stretch. want their faces to be about there. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. All right, so from the middle out, I have a shaper like that, which is kind of firm. So I'm going to go from the middle and push out. And because it was already stretched, you can see what happened. And I do it in a cross from the middle in a shape of a cross because that secures it. And that way I don't have any bubbles. This right here is dry. I can deal with that in a minute, but right now I want to put a hole like that. Give it a face. His face. All right, so I have some areas where I need to add. Now the reason my medium is a little bit yellow is because I had used that spray, which is water soluble, that yellow spray, and some of it comes up even after it's been painted on. Okay, there's some little tiny textures. It kind of looks like leather. That's fine with me. I like it. Okay, let's see here. This is a damp paper towel, you know. Let's see. You might see something I don't see as far as now there's gonna see that, I don't know if you saw that, but there's a little tiny thing that looked like a bubble there, but actually it was like right here. It's actually extra medium, I think. But because when it's wet it stretches, then when it dries it's going to snap to. It should. But you don't want to have it, you got to make sure there's no air pockets, because when it does dry and shrink a little bit, then it's really going to make a big air pocket. But if it's something small, it'll be okay, I think. What do you think? I think that's pretty good. Okay, looks like some of my color came off. Sorry. I'll be dealing with that. But I like it. I like it a lot. I like that there's some lines in it. But if you don't like that kind of thing, then you can put your paper on and then paint it. Put your paper down first and then paint it. Or you can paint over it again and that'll pretty much go away. Just to see, I'm just curious. No, you don't want to poke it. It is paper, so you don't want to poke at it too much. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to work on it.